Family Matters won't be seen tonight, so we can bring you a very special episode of The Gen X Files. Welcome to The Gen X Files. I'm Jim.
I'm Adam.
And today's show is all about Super Mario Bros.
Yep.
I guess that's it.
Although I think they kind of used that in the movie.
Sort of.
I don't know.
Look, man, this movie is insane. I have not seen this movie since it came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
Did not like it when it came out.
I don't even remember seeing it. I know I did.
Just like everybody, I was shocked at how non-Mario Bros. This Mario Bros. Really was.
I remember being very confused.
Well, look, this movie is so 1990s.
Yes.
It is the epitome of the 90s filmmaking, which is
Excess.
excess.
Yeah.
And then everything, whether it's Demolition Man or this or
Last Action Hero
or the Mars
Total
Recall, this dystopian version of cities.
Yeah.
They all are interchangeable and look exactly. I'm positive it must have been the same production designer for all of these movies.
Well, they used this set in like 5 different movies.
Yes.
I mean, it was
it looks like it.
Yeah.
You know, so Mario Brothers, the game is this joyful, colorful escape of wonderment and mushrooms and Goombas
Jumping
and
around and
Koopas
getting bigger.
and bombs and bombs and
Bob-bombs, yeah.
and all sorts of
So many giant dinosaurs.
Yoshis and
one giant dinosaur.
and Koopas and King
One giant
Koopas.
Koopas. It's really amazing that they took something that has such a distinct visual style and go, no, we're going to make it dark.
No, yeah. This was the Batmanification of of properties, because there was no anything that was kind of saccharine or sweet or good-natured was just destroyed in the 90s. There was none of that.
Yeah.
There was you couldn't put together a real Mario Brothers film because we just didn't have that sensibility back then. I don't know what it was, but there was just no kindness. I don't know. Well, not kindness, but you know what I mean. Everything was snarky. Everything was like, it's got to be sexy, and it's got to be gritty,
dark,
and it's got to be dark, and it's got to be snarky, and it's and there was no room for the real Mario or Mario Brothers.
No, that's too joyful.
Yes.
Like, you can't have that.
So let's turn it into this wild dystopian parallel universe galaxy where Dennis Hopper runs the new dinosaurs and
I don't know what the hell they were smoking when they were like, the asteroid hit the planet and made another dimension. Let's do that.
Well, here's the most surprising thing of all. I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I know.
I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, I got to be honest. Like, removing it from the Mario universe, the Nintendo universe, it is actually not a bad movie.
This was just a movie about two guys. It definitely goes up and then down.
Yeah.
The beginning of the movie in the real world was really enjoyable.
I would have enjoyed 2 hours of that.
So would I. John Leguizamo, it's one of his best roles. He is so likable in this.
I know.
And look, John Leguizamo has become a really great actor.
Yeah.
And I love him. And I love seeing him work today. He's a very seasoned character actor.
Oh, my God, yes.
He's a good dude. He just seems like a great guy all around.
Yes.
Back then, when he first started out, I could not stand him. He was just his one man. He kind of started the way that Whoopi Goldberg started, which by doing a one-person show.
Yeah, I mean, that came much later after
his stand-up, and then he did
his stand-up. He had very much a character.
Yes,
and that character was grating and annoying.
Yes, there's a reason why he made a movie called The Pest.
Yes, his character was just so, and it folds into the whole '90s like kind of annoying aesthetic.
Yes, exactly. I mean, he was very of the time. There was a reason why he worked so much, because he fit into that. He did a good job of fitting in to whatever was demanded upon you during the decade. And again, now that he's had like a 40-year career
and multiple Tony nominations, multiple Broadway shows.
Guy's talented as hell.
Yeah, guys knows what he's doing.
Back then, did not like him. But in this movie, this was the first kind of wow, John Leguizamo can act.
Yeah,
Who's just crazy as Super Mario Bros.
He's got range. Playing Luigi Mario.
And a really good, and maybe it was all the drinking, but a really good chemistry with Hoskins.
Yeah.
And even though they hated being on the movie, they
still were professional.
They didn't phone it in. Even though they were drunk or whatever, they didn't phone it in.
Not like Dennis Hopper.
Oh, Dennis Hopper just got less of a shit.
You can literally see the moment where he gives up and is just like, all right, this is what it's going to be.
All you see is the hatred and disdain in his eyes and the shame of being in this movie. Man, I just hate it, man.
Oh.
And you know what's really crazy is his hair looks a lot like Donald Trump's.
It's weird.
It looks exactly
really
like
weird.
it. It's all wispy.
He acts a lot like Donald Trump.
Maybe that was his inspiration.
There you go.
But yeah, so weird that the movie is very typically 90s, and it starts out really nice. A couple of plumbers, Mario, and Luigi Mario, and Luigi Mario.
Yeah, I mean, Luigi finds a girl, and he's like kind of enamored, and they seem into each other, and it's like, hey, this could be interesting.
It's another one of those tired tropes where people that are really good at what they do and very honorable and have integrity never get work.
No, they can't because they have moral turpitude.
Because the Scolari brothers, one of those brothers.
Scolari brothers.
The Scolari brothers. The Scolari brothers when I was here. Well, we're doing that.
Yeah. That's actually pretty accurate.
But I don't know. I mean, I think my expectations were maybe so low.
Yeah.
Or I completely blocked this movie out of my brain. But for some reason, I'm not saying it's Ghostbusters 2 level redemption.
Yeah. No.
But it's definitely gone from like a D to a C plus B minus.
I think the biggest complaint about this movie when it came out was that it wasn't the Super Mario Bros. Like, it wasn't the game. It wasn't the thing that they were basing it off of. And I think the directors intended that.
Yeah.
I think that was always their intention. But I think given another 30 years, you're able to separate it away from Super Mario Brothers. And it actually is a standalone movie. It's kind of interesting.
Yes, it did. If it didn't have the Mario Brothers title, it would have done a lot better.
I think if it didn't have the Mario Bros. Title, it never would have got made.
No, I mean, but if it got, you know what I mean.
Right.
If it was just called,
if it had just been something.
Doug and Louie go to another dimension. This is another thing, too, that I think one of the problems was, just like with The Witcher or other properties, I think a lot of people have disdain for video games. People that are making them, actually, making the movies.
Yeah.
And they try to distinguish themselves by, we're not going to do anything like the game. We're not going to do, we're going to take everything and spin it around and make it completely different. And it's like, well, no, man. There's a fine line between that. When you take something like this and completely bastardize it. I mean, there's really, except for the names, there's nothing.
No, I mean, there's little hints of things.
There's Easter eggs.
But I mean,
with the jump boots. And
you can tell it's been inspired by Super Mario Brothers.
And he eats a mushroom at the end.
So completely different.
Don't take a property and adapt it if you're not a fan.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it never goes right. There's a reason why The Last of Us is so good. And it's not a shot-for-shot remake of the game. It has its own personality. But it doesn't forget where it came from.
Yeah, and the creators of the show love the game.
And they expand upon that universe. And this is just taking that universe and spinning it 180 degrees.
Yeah.
From colorful to drab. From fun to not so much fun.
to dark and weird.
Yeah.
I really honestly think that, and they talk about it a little bit, the creators do, but like, I really think that they tried to emulate the success of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, because that, granted, started with a very dark comic.
Very dark.
But the cartoon was so colorful and so like easy to market. But then they made the movie, and the movie was pretty dark.
Yeah,
like not like comics, but I mean, it was much darker.
Right.
And
it was a mix. It was like in the middle between the comics and the animated.
Yeah, and I think they were trying. And it did. I mean, I enjoyed the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. They were in the dark because the costumes were horrifying.
Corey Feldman, baby.
I know. But I think they tried to emulate that, and at least Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had the comics to be like, yeah, you can be dark and it can work. But Super Mario Bros. Is not that.
Well, also, the Turtles pretty much look like the Turtles.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they do.
The Mario Bros. don't put on their little jumpsuits, and they don't even put on overalls. They put on these new age hip hop jumpsuits.
It's weird.
With the hat back. I was waiting for them to have a dance off at the end. With Koopa, it was going to be the big old. He was going to slap down his cardboard, Luigi Mario, and start spinning on his head. But
John Leguizamo would have been all about that.
He would have. He would have rocked it too, man. Yeah. The truth is, as a Mario Brothers movie, it fails. But as a movie, it doesn't. It has a lot of interesting things. The one thing that it has going for it in spades is it has an amazing cast.
Yes. They did a really, really good job of casting this movie.
Like I said, Leguizamo and Hoskins are great.
Incredible.
You not only have Dennis Hopper, but you have Samantha Mathis, who is really good.
She was pretty surprisingly good in this. Fisher Stevens. Richard Edson.
Who I believe Richard Edson is such a good character actor.
Yeah.
There's an episode of Homicide: Life on the Street with he and Bruno Kirby. Bruno Kirby just gets out of prison.
Little tiny Bruno Kirby.
Yeah, little Bruno Kirby. Yeah. He gets out of prison and he wants to get Pimbleton, played by Andre Brower.
Yeah.
And so driving him around, so that thing's, you sure you really want to do this? You gotta go back to prison and go kill him. You don't want to do it. But it's such a great episode because it's all their point of view. You never go to
the cops.
The cop thing, and you just watch Bruno Kirby self-destruct, basically.
Yeah.
And they're so good together. You probably really remember from Platoon. I think he got his arms blown off. He was the guy.
He was the guy. You're right. I think you're right.
But I always loved that dude. Ever since I saw him in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh yes. God, I think that's what everybody really remembers him from. But he's so good in this.
So good.
Dana Kaminsky is the Hoskins' girlfriend.
Yes.
Who just fell off the face of the earth. I don't know what she's doing now, but she was so good in this movie.
So good. Well, just to go back to Richard Edson, really quickly, if you want to see an amazing example of his work, watch Jim Jarmusch's Stranger Than Paradise.
Yeah.
It's one of his bigger roles.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I just feel he's one of those guys that bugs me that he didn't have a bigger career.
Yeah.
He should have been in a lot of stuff. But anyway, great cast, which we'll get into. Let's just get into it because I'll talk about it all day.
Take yourself back to 1993.
Yeah.
April 27th, the book Game Over by David Sheff, devoted to the history of Nintendo, is published by Random House.
Game over, man.
The funny thing is that by this point, Nintendo technically had been a company for 110 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. They started actually producing playing cards. That was
playing cards,
yeah. Yeah, and then got into the pachinko machines and all that fun stuff. Gambling. That was how Nintendo started.
That's how you make your money.
May 11th, the first Funko Land location in McHenry County, Illinois, opens in Crystal Lake, bringing the chain's total number of locations to 62. Do you remember Funko Land?
I have no idea. What are you talking about?
It would grow to 406 locations before finally merging with Babbage's in December 2000 to become GameStop.
Oh, is this where Funko Pops come from?
Maybe?
I don't know. I'm not
really...
No,
I think it's spelled differently.
It's Funko?
Yeah. Funko Land. I don't remember Funko Land. I do remember Babbage's. That was the computer store in the mall that I would always want to go to and then look at computers I could never buy.
I don't know if we had those on the West Coast.
Yeah. They had 406 locations, but essentially it was the precursor of GameStop.
Right.
Which is now everywhere.
Yeah, now it's going away.
May 24th, Sega of America introduces the first ever video game content rating system, the Video Game Rating Council.
Sega!
Yeah.
Rated TVMA.
TVMA.
Rated adults only.
Yeah. May 28th, Super Mario Bros. Is released in theaters. This is just going to be the whole rest of the show.
Yes! I'm going to do that gently in the background.
The music bed of Jim. Yeah. So Super Mario Brothers starts with Donkey Kong.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Everyone forgets that Mario was in Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong is in my top 5 of all-time favorite games because it was my first love.
Absolutely groundbreaking.
Yeah.
When it came out. It was incredible.
I liked Pac-Man. I liked Centipede. I liked Defenders. I liked all those games. But for some reason, Donkey Kong was the shit.
And you were not the only one. It captured the entire world's imagination.
Oh, man. When ColecoVision came out with the home version of Donkey Kong, which was
yeah.
so inferior, but still fun to play.
Right.
You know, that's why I wanted a ColecoVision, so I could Kong my donkey.
So Mario was born as Jumpman in 1981 with the release of Donkey Kong in the arcades.
Should have kept it as Jumpman.
I know. He was named Mario after the landlord at Nintendo of America as a joke, as he was so reclusive that none of the employees had ever actually met him.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Mario would appear in Donkey Kong Jr. in 1982. He would appear in his own namesake game Mario Bros. In 1983. This would feature the first appearance of Luigi.
Yeah.
Do you remember the original Mario Brothers?
I do.
It was weird.
Yeah, it was a 2-player game.
It was so weird. It was almost like the same setup as like Joust, like with the way the levels were set up. It wasn't a side scroller or anything. It was just like a screen.
Yeah.
And then you ran around collecting eggs and hitting things
Yep.
and all this. It was weird.
But you could play with your friends.
You could. It was a good 2-player game.
I don't remember Donkey Kong Jr.
Yeah, I remember seeing the arcade machine
Yeah.
because I remember liking the
Artwork?
the graphic, the artworks, but I don't think I ever played it.
I must have played it. I just remember, I thought Donkey Kong Jr. showed up on the consoles.
No, 1982.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you learn something new every day. I guess I've forgotten some of my video game facts.
In 1995, Mario and Luigi would appear in Super Mario Bros., the pack-in game that was included with every Nintendo Entertainment System sold.
Nice.
This would be followed by Super Mario Bros. 2, released in America in 1988, and Super Mario Bros. 3, released in 1989.
They just kept getting better and better, too.
I know. And the really funny thing is that Super Mario Bros. 2 here was called something else in Japan.
Oh.
Like it was Super Mario Bros. 2 in Japan was a completely different game.
Weird.
Which was eventually released in America called Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels. But it was more like the first game rather than
Interesting.
Super Mario Bros. 2, which was weird. Like they were producing a play or something.
Well, they called it the Super Famicom
yeah.
in Japan, not the Super Nintendo.
I mean, it had been out. It was out long before the Super Nintendo.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, they didn't even have the Nintendo. They had the Famicom.
It was just weird that they didn't think that game was going to do well here, so they just made something else entirely for America.
And I just realized that Famicom is a conglomeration of family and computer.
We talked about this in our Nintendo episode. You're only about 3 years too late.
Hey, dementia works in very mysterious ways.
1991 saw the release of Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo, and that would be the first Super Mario game I would never play.
Which one was the Super Nintendo? Was that the purple one?
No, that was the GameCube. Or the
No,
N64.
that's the one with the purple buttons.
Yeah, it had the purple buttons on the top.
It
still had the top loading and yeah.
It was white with the purple?
Yes.
That was this console?
That was Super Nintendo.
And this was the 3D one?
No. The 64 was the 3D.
Okay,
one.
yes. Because I remember
that did the polygonal cubes and stuff. Yeah.
Yes. Well, yes, because I was kind of a console whore back then, and I remember getting the N64. I had to go to 18 different Toys R Us's, and I finally bought the demo model.
Oh wow!
Because they were all it was crazy.
Super Nintendo was the last Nintendo I owned until the Wii, 15 years later or 20 years later.
Oh wow!
And then someone stole it from me.
The last for me was the Cube, and then nothing after the GameCube.
Yeah.
No Wii, no Switch.
Yeah.
I would love to have a Switch, but it's just
they're so insanely expensive now.
Yeah, the Switch 2 and the games are very expensive.
Crazy. Mario's first venture onto the small screen was in 1983 with Saturday Supercade, an animated show that featured video game characters from the golden age of arcade games, including Donkey Kong, Mario, and Pauline from the Donkey Kong arcade game in short segments.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think... I'm sure I probably watched it. I don't remember Saturday Supercade.
The one I remember the most is the Lou Albano
that was
action.
The Super Mario Bros. Super Show, based on Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario Bros. 2, which was broadcast in syndication from September 4th to December 1st in 1989, airing 65 episodes in total. The show was produced by Dick Entertainment, which had also gained the rights to make a Mario Brothers feature film, but it never came to fruition.
I think it's pronounced Deke.
Whatever.
But they're all over the place, man. Yeah. Deke does every bit of crappy imagination. Animation.
So much bad animation. This was the first depiction of a live-action Mario and Luigi, played by WWF wrestling superstar Captain Lou Albano and Canadian actor Danny Wells.
Captain Lou Albano, I loved him. There was such a great convergence of music and wrestling with Cyndi Lauper and Lou Albano and those groups when they were in her videos. He was like looked like Mario. He was such a big fuzzy guy.
Yeah. If I remember right, I think that his promoting the show, he was on the very first episode of Regis and Kathy Lee.
Maybe.
I thought I read that, but I don't quote me on that. But he definitely was on Regis and Kathy Lee. I think it was the first episode.
I'm playing Mario, I'm the Mario Brothers, and I'm gonna be fighting the other guy, and I'll wrestle him to the ground, but you gotta watch the Mario Brothers cartoon and listen to Cyndi Lauper.
They also did the voices for the animated characters because the show was set up so they had bumpers at the beginning, which were live-action segments that resembled awful sitcoms and thankfully never lasted more than a few minutes.
Right.
They were bad. If you want to watch it, it's on Amazon Prime, all 65 episodes.
Just like Pryor's Place with those bumpers.
The show also featured some of the worst green screen dancing from Mario and Luigi to an insanely bad rap song set to a Super Mario video game theme.
Beep, bop, boom.
God, it was so bad. It was so bad. I watched a couple episodes while writing the script, and I literally had to turn it off. It was so bad.
It's an assault on the senses.
Even in the background, it was too loud and annoying. This show is perhaps only beaten in awfulness by King Koopa's Cool Cartoons, aired during the autumn of 1989, a live-action kids show with a man in a Bowser costume that aired only in Southern California.
Lucky us.
I take that back. There was a 1989 Ice Capade show based on Super Mario Bros. That was even worse.
That's not surprising. There was. Remember Ice Capades? Do we even have Ice Capades anymore?
Yes.
Ice Capades were everywhere and everything. Everything became Ice Capades.
I know. I was a little surprised that there was a Mario Brothers thing, but then not.
Yeah.
But it's like
Charlie Brown on ice.
If you have a chance, look up King Koopa's Cool Cartoons just to see the man in the costume. It is frightening, and why they thought it was a good idea for a kid show is beyond me.
And also using all K's and then saying King KKK.
There's four of them. There's four of them. It's fine.
The extra K makes it okay.
The second animated show to air, The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3, ran on NBC from September 8th to December 1st, 1990. They dropped the live-action aspect of the previous show because it was based off Super Mario Bros. 3, which is why it was called The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3, even though it was only the second show.
Convoluted. They could never get it right. They couldn't get Mario right.
And we'll explain later why. Nintendo just really didn't seem to care. Super Mario World, based on the SNES game of the same name, aired in 1991. It was the last Saturday morning animated Mario show to air.
No.
Yeah. They all only ran for like 3 months. They all ran for 65 episodes, and then they came and went.
Because they sucked. They sucked. Mario is a hard nut to crack, man. I mean, it's like the worlds are pretty and stuff, but what the hell goes on? It's like how many episodes of him trying to save Peach do you have? You know, it's like there's not a lot goes on in those worlds.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's all... The animation was really bad, too. It was so obviously cheap.
Deke, to call it animation is a stretch. It was basically 4 or 5... stills,
backgrounds,
cells,
and then,
and it's it's the kind of animation where nobody moves and maybe like an arm wiggles a little bit.
So annoying. In 1990, Dustin Hoffman attempted to purchase the rights to produce a film with himself as Mario, Danny DeVito as Luigi, and Barry Levinson directing.
It's me, Mario. It's me, Mario.
I just imagine Dustin Hoffman was just a huge video game nerd and was like, I love it.
I honestly think he would have been brilliant as Mario. I think he would have. He's little. He looks like him.
Yeah.
He would have been perfect. I think DeVito is. It's almost like two Marios. You need. You needed somebody lanky. Jim Carrey would have been like a good Luigi, or who else was popular at the time? I don't know, but I just can't think of anybody. But I think Dustin Hoffman would have been brilliant.
I think he would have been good. Yeah. This was not made because of scheduling conflicts for DeVito, so technically it would have been made.
Also, I'm super curious to see Barry Levinson's Super Mario Bros.
It would be diametrically opposed to the movie that we saw.
The movie would just be Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, and Donkey Kong sitting around in a diner talking about all the, this is the test I got to do to Princess Peach. If she doesn't know all the football things, I ain't going to marry her. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's a diner reference.
Right. Jake Eberts then purchased the film rights and started developing an adaptation to be produced by Penny Marshall. Producer Roland Joffe first came up with the idea of making a live-action adaptation of the video games himself during a script meeting at Eberts' production company, Leitmotiv.
Okay.
Joffe started as a TV director, directing episodes of Coronation Street, the long-running British soap opera, which started in 1960 and is still running today.
Wow.
Yeah, long. His first feature film... long. the new panda I just saw. Long, long, long.
Long. That's
Yeah.
very.
His first feature film, released in 1984, The Killing Fields, about the Khmer Rouge in Cambodia, earned him a nomination for Best Director at the Oscars.
Such a good movie.
It is fantastic. He would lose to Milos Forman for Amadeus, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But he was nominated for an Oscar for directing a feature film. It's a great movie, Killing Fields. We had to watch it in high school.
We had to.
Yeah. I mean, they made us. So, I mean, you know.
It's not an easy film to
No,
watch.
it's not.
I mean, it's called The Killing Fields, and it's.
Yeah.
They were murdering people in Cambodia. It was like a.
It was awful.
Yeah.
I mean, they murdered a lot of people.
It was a almost genocide.
Yeah. His second feature, released in 1986, The Mission, starring Robert De Niro as a Jesuit missionary in 18th century South America, would earn him a second Best Director nomination.
It's just one of those Robert De Niro movies where it's a very, very much a Robert De Niro movie.
Yeah.
He's building that mission, baby.
Jaffe would lose to Oliver Stone for Platoon.
Yeah, no shame.
I've never seen The Mission. I really don't need to watch a Jesuit missionary in 18th century South America.
Like, it's a good. Well, I mean, Name of the Rose. You wouldn't have thought that would have been.
That's true. That's a good point.
It is a good movie. It's just a very, like, of the time.
Right.
One of those Oscar baity type of movies.
Yeah.
Not that it's bad. It's just that's what it is.
Jaffe met with the Nintendo of America president and Hiroshi Yamauchi's son-in-law. Yamauchi was the president of Nintendo for 52 years.
That's insane.
52 years! The man was like 100 when he died.
Or maybe 80. But
He was 53 when he died.
He was a baby. The first thing you think of for a Super Mario Brothers movie is, give me the guy that directed The Mission and Killing Fields.
Yeah, I know. Well, now granted,
He's hilarious.
They came to Nintendo. Nintendo was just like, all right, give me offers. Whatever.
What is he thinking? I mean, was it just like, okay, I'm tired of just this heavy bullshit. I need some sort of just pablum to make.
Maybe he was like, maybe the Killing Fields and The Mission didn't make the kind of box office he wanted to get. I mean, critical darlings, but like, if they're not making money, they're not making money.
Yeah, well, yes. So Mario Brothers is going to solve the problems.
1 month later, Jaffe went to Nintendo's headquarters in Kyoto to meet Hiroshi Yamauchi himself. He pitched to Yamauchi the storyline, which Nintendo liked, and Jaffe left with a $2 million contract giving the temporary control of the character of Mario over to himself.
Sweet.
When Yamauchi asked Jaffe why Nintendo should sell the rights to Leitmotiv over a major company, Jaffe assured them that Nintendo would have more control over the film. However, Nintendo had no interest in creative control and believed the Mario brand was strong enough to allow an experiment with an outside industry.
They're not wrong. They were not wrong.
Except they were wrong, because they didn't make another Mario movie for 30 years.
The way I'm interpreting it is, it doesn't matter what they do. It's not going to hurt the brand.
It's not going to affect video game sales.
And it didn't.
No,
Not the movie. It didn't.
No.
It didn't, because it was so far removed. You know, there's no way people were blaming Nintendo for this. Right. And like, I'm not going to play Mario because I don't like Dennis Hopper.
No. It was very different enough from the games that Nintendo could step back and wipe their hands and be like, okay, whatever.
But that was the thing. It's like, we don't care. We're doing our thing, which is making a ton of money.
Right.
It's very successful. You just do your thing. And if it helps our thing, awesome. It's not going to hurt our thing.
Right.
So just
that's
give
fair.
us some money and do your due.
Jaffe said,
I think they looked at the movie as some sort of strange creature that was kind of rather intriguing to see if we could walk or not.
yeah, I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head there. That they were just like, okay, whatever, man. It's not going to hurt. It's a win-win for us.
Let's see what happens.
Not going to hurt us. Whatever happens, happens.
Call us invite us to the premiere.
The first screenplay was written by Oscar-winning screenwriter Barry Morrow. If the name's not familiar, he had won an Oscar for writing Rain Man.
Yeah. Well, they definitely should have had Dustin Hoffman then.
Yeah, Mario. I'm definitely Mario. I'm going to get a mushroom. Time for the mushroom. I'm going to go bigger. I'm going to go much bigger.
123 Koopas. I count 123 Koopas.
120 Koopas. Got to get the princess. Got to find the princess. Yeah. Got to find the princess.
His Mario Brothers story followed brothers Mario and Luigi on an existential road trip so similar to Mario's prior Rain Man that production titled the script Drain Man.
That's hilarious.
Crew later said that Mario's story was
more of a serious drama piece as opposed to a fun comedy.
Yeah. They tried some other writers, but nothing really seemed to click for the story.
Why are they trying to make Mario Brothers into something it's not? I don't understand the reasoning. You have an amazingly colorful, wonderful property, and you're trying to make it into Rain Man or Demolition Man. I don't get the reasoning.
The basic plot
Cocaine.
of Super Mario Brothers is that he has to go find the princess.
Yes.
That's it. That's not going to sustain a feature
No,
film.
but it's a great jumping off point. They did it pretty well in the animated movie that made $10 billion.
Yeah, well, they also had it was animation.
It was very nice looking.
Yeah. Jaffe said,
We tried some various avenues that didn't work. That came up too medieval somehow wasn't the right thing. I felt the project was taking a wrong turn. And that's when I began thinking of Max Headroom.
of course, because when I think of Mario Brothers, I think of Max Headroom.
This is the problem. Nobody understands. Does he play the game? Does he know the
Probably
game?
not.
It's just computers to them.
It's all computers.
Yeah. Rocky Morton and Annabel Jankel, a husband and wife team, had started by directing music videos before creating Max Headroom. It started as Max Headroom in a TV movie, which then turned to him hosting a British show, and then turned into an American sitcom. Headroom was billed as the first computer-generated TV host, but in actuality was actor Matt Frewer wearing prosthetic makeup, contact lenses, and a plastic-molded suit, sitting in front of a blue screen.
Yeah, and they just.
It was just a lot of editing and stuff, yeah.
He wasn't he a Pepsi spokesman for a while? That's where I thought he came
Eventually
from.
he did. Nope.
He
No.
started in Britain?
Britain, yep.
Britain?
There is a TV movie, you can find it, I believe it's on YouTube.
Yeah, I've seen
that
it.
started the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's called 20 Years in the Future or something. I don't think it was very long before he started the Pepsi thing and doing some other, he definitely cashed in.
Oh,
on
yeah. Well,
Max Headroom.
it was one of those crazy fads, that phenomenon that popped up and everybody lost their minds because it was
Yeah.
new. And it like, oh, he's a computer-generated dude.
Yeah, because then that was also the whole when the Chicago hijacking of during the World Series or whatever, where the guy was wearing a Max Headroom
Yes.
mask,
Yeah.
and took over for 9 minutes and just spouted random things. Yeah, I mean it was a big deal. It was a big deal.
That incident was more exciting than the entire Max Headroom TV show. Actually, the TV show was not bad.
I like Matt Frewer. I
love Matt
I
Frewer.
don't know. I don't think I ever watched the show. I don't know what it would have the same problem as Mario Brothers. What the hell is the plot?
Well, I think Matt Frewer played himself and Max Headroom.
In the TV movie, he becomes Max Headroom.
Right.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
remember that.
he's a journalist, and then whatever happens, it happens.
Right.
And then
No, Max Frewer was great. He was great in Eureka. That's a really fun series that has been lost.
Oh God, yeah. He was fantastic. I mean, Matt Frewer's great. Don't get me wrong.
He was great as Max Headroom. It just
Yeah.
became one of those things that we were beaten to death by it.
Yes. When it got popular, it got insanely popular.
It's overexposure ruins things.
It does. Morton and Jankel would direct their first feature, DOA, in 1988, starring Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan.
Ugh.
It was a remake of the 1950 film noir of the same name, receiving decent box office and generally positive reviews.
I remember when it came out. It was middling, and people weren't really keen on seeing Meg Ryan playing a femme fatale. It was just, and I think they were married at the time, or
Probably. That sounds right.
the original was so much better.
Yeah, yeah.
But there was this whole string of these noir,
Yes.
the neo-noir movies that came out in the 90s that,
The 80s.
the 80s and the early 90s. But there were some really good ones, but there was Red Rock West was really good, and
Yeah, I
that
mean,
one
it
with,
was a nice resurgence of some film noir.
Yeah.
But yeah, not all of them were
a lot of
good.
Jim Thompson
Yeah.
novels, or
Morton and Jankel would almost direct Child's Play before Tom Holland was selected to direct. We talked about it in our Child's Play episode, so listen to that.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Jaffe, Morton, and Jankel agreed their approach to adapting the video games should follow the darker tone popularized by the 1989 Batman and 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
First mistake.
Jaffe said,
This wasn't Snow White and the Seven Dinosaurs. The dino world was dark and we didn't want to hold back.
Morton described the film as a prequel to the video games that tells the
True story.
behind Nintendo's inspiration. The film also took inspiration from Die Hard, Mad Max, and Blade Runner.
Okay.
3 movies that obviously, when I think of Super Mario Brothers.
Yes.
The concept of a parallel universe inhabited by dinosaurs was inspired by Dinosaur Land from the recently released Super Mario World.
Okay.
Jankel envisioned the parallel dimension as
A whole world with a reptile point of view, dominated by aggressive primordial behavior and basic instincts.
while Morton considered the ecological and technological consequences of a dinosaur society that holds fossil fuels sacred. Jaffe noted,
It's a wonderful parody of New York and heavy industry. We call it the New Brutalism.
I have never wanted to slap someone more than when they say, we call it the new brutalism.
It's the Mario Brothers movie. Cool, you're not making killing fields,
I'm going to grab
Jaffe.
him by the lapels
Yeah.
and shake him.
making garbage. It's not the only new brutalism is what the audience experiences watching your crap.
the new garbage. Which it's funny. I still like this movie.
I know.
But Jesus, what were they thinking?
I know. It's every decision is bad. It's again the last few months have had a theme of like so many movies where every decision they make is the wrong one.
Yeah.
Except for casting.
Screenwriters Parker Bennett and Terry Runte were tasked with balancing comedy with a darker tone. Bennett said,
Ghostbusters was the model. We were aiming towards funny, but kind of weird and dark.
Bennett and Runte were then fired by the producers for being too comedic, and the British writing team of Dick Clement and Ian LaFrennay were brought on to deliver a more adult and feminist tone.
God forbid we get some laughs in our Mario Brothers movie.
Princess Daisy and Lena's roles were expanded, and Bertha was introduced as a black woman.
I loved Bertha. She was great.
She was great in this, yeah.
I don't know what character she was based on.
She wasn't. It was original.
It was
Yeah, she was supposed to be just a bouncer for the dance club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. With this script, the main cast signed on, so they cast Bob Hoskins as Mario. Hoskins...
I'm just stunned into silence.
Mario, and this is my brother Luigi Mario.
Yeah. Hoskins was approached early, but he didn't like the initial script and didn't want to do another children's film.
I done Roger Rabbit. I done Hook. I didn't want to become like Dick Van Dyke.
Look, I'm doing
It was
the
really
Mario
good.
version of Bob
That was
Hoskins.
really good.
Because,
It's yeah.
It's
the one we know.
Yes. I've been in character as Bob Hoskins Mario for the entire week. I'm a method podcaster.
Dustin Hoffman continued to express interest in the part, but the president of Nintendo's son-in-law didn't think he was right for the part.
I really want to throw it. Come on, you guys don't let me throw it. I'm Dustin Hoffman. I want Oscars. Come on, let me throw it.
You don't look like it. Bob Hoskins is short and weird like Mario.
Short and weird with a mustache. Danny DeVito was offered both the role of Mario and at one point to entice him further as director, but he turned it down.
That's who I would have liked to see.
I would have
direct.
liked to have seen a Danny DeVito directed Mario Brothers movie.
Yes, I
it
think
would have
that
been
would-
even more insane.
Brilliant. It would have been brilliant. And he would have been great as his Mario.
Yeah. When the script finally got to Hoskins' liking, he signed on. Hoskins didn't know that the film he was making was based on a game until his son asked him what he was working on. When Hoskins mentioned the film's title, his son immediately recognized it and showed Hoskins the game on his own Nintendo Entertainment System.
Where'd you get that? Who bought you that? Oh, I gotta talk to your mother.
Hoskins had played a plumber once before in Brazil in 1985.
Yeah. Not quite as heady as Super Mario Brothers, but it was okay.
It was all right. Hoskins was nominated for a Best Actor Oscar in 1987 for the film Mona Lisa, written and directed by Neil Jordan.
I think it was Jordan's first, or is this Jordan? Or
I
Neil
just
Jordan?
called Jordan. I don't know.
I think that was Neil Jordan's first film. Have you seen it?
The Mona Lisa?
Yeah.
No.
It is so good. You would love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should check. I love Bob Hoskins. I don't know why I haven't seen this movie.
Well, he deserved the Oscar for that.
Well, unfortunately, he would lose to Paul Newman for The Color of Money.
I love Paul Newman,
Yeah.
but I don't. He deserved it, I guess. I don't know. He was really good in that movie, but
Yeah.
It's a toughie.
It's just to get through The Color of Money, you got to get through Tom Cruise.
Good Lord.
I got the way that you use it.
And swinging the thing around. I will have to say, though, Tom Cruise is pretty funny playing a dumb dude. And he does. He has moments in that.
Yeah. Hoskins has had a long career appearing in some iconic movies and some pretty bad stinkers. His final role was in Snow White and the Huntsman in 2012, playing a blind dwarf.
No.
It would be his last role as he was diagnosed with Parkinson's that year and retired from acting.
God damn, man.
Yeah. He died on April 29th, 2014 from pneumonia at the age of 71.
Took him 2 years from diagnosis to death.
And he was only 69 when he was diagnosed. That sucks, man. There was at least another good 20 years of acting he could have done.
Completely. And he would have been an awesome old man actor.
Yes.
So
Yes.
good.
God, he was so good.
He should have played. You know who he would have been doing a lot? What's the name of the guy from Adolescence that starred in it? And Graham. Stephen Graham?
Stephen Graham.
He would have been playing Stephen Graham's dad in everything.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Now that you say that, yes. John Leguizamo was cast as Luigi Mario.
I'm Luigi Mario.
Although they heavily, technically Mario's brother, but they heavily implied in the movie that he wasn't his blood brother.
What they said was he was talking to Daisy because Daisy was an egg. Spoiler alert. She was hatched.
Well, that's in the first 2 seconds of the movie.
She was hatched from an egg at an orphanage, like so many of us were.
But only the lucky ones.
But he was saying, well, she was telling him that story, and he said, well, one parents disappeared, and it was my father, my mother, my brother, my baby, my boo,
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, it seems
He's my
odd
brother.
because they don't look related at all.
Yeah, exactly. And they're not from the same country.
No, they're not. They're not even from the country they're supposed to be from.
No!
Yeah. Tom Hanks was considered for the role of Luigi, but the failures of Turner and Hooch and Joe versus the Volcano led the studio to believe Hanks was no longer a box office draw.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. Talk about short-sighted.
He would have been great, by the way.
Fantastic.
He would have been great. And you know, it would have been a much different film.
If he did Super Mario Bros., I guarantee you he would not have done Forrest Gump, and he would not have done Philadelphia, and he would not have any Oscars, and we wouldn't even know who Tom Hanks is right now.
Well, he'd be doing like some crappy TV show.
It'd be the reunion of Bosom Buddies.
I don't want to know what's the name of
Bosom-
my life.
Bosom Buddies 2, Bosomer Buddies.
Bosomer buddies. I love bosom buddies.
I know. But I'm just saying is that I think it's for Tom Hanks' career the best choice that he did not do this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was very fortuitous.
John Leguizamo started his career as a stand-up, something he continues to do this day.
He does.
He still tours every year.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for him. You forget that he did stand-up, that he does stand-up.
He loves stand-up. Like,
good
that's
for
his
him.
jam. Yeah. He actually made his screen debut in the Madonna music video for Borderline in 1984.
I remember that.
I do not, but it does not surprise me in the slightest.
I was a huge MTV guy.
Oh, yeah.
I love me my music vids.
His film debut was in Mixed Blood in 1984, directed by Paul Morrissey, a black comedy about a man that leads a gang of Brazilian juvenile delinquents in an attempt to seize control of New York's Lower East Side's illegal drug trade from a Puerto Rican gang.
Hilarious.
Paul Morrissey, if you don't remember, he worked with Andy Warhol a lot.
Yes.
So I am sure that movie was insane.
I'd like to see it. I don't know if I've ever seen it.
I think it's available on the Internet Archive, if I remember correctly. His first TV appearance was on Miami Vice in 1986, appearing in season 2 and 3 as the same character, then coming back in season 5 to play someone else.
That was weird. That was weird.
Where he was very obviously John Leguizamo.
Well, because Miami Vice was pretty good at that, and they had the greatest. He was great on this, by the way. They had the greatest guest stars: Bruce Willis, Pretty Woman, Julia Roberts, Pretty Woman, Julia Roberts, Stanley Tucci. I mean, everybody.
it was a huge show. Everybody wanted to be on it. I mean, it was
But he was really good. I think he was like Calderon. He was like his nephew or something.
Oh.
If I remember correctly.
But then he came back as somebody else.
I think he came back as a cop or something. I don't know. He was really good. He was just very much, his guy.
Kind of the high energy.
Yeah.
Leguizamo started appearing in supporting roles in some big movies, including Casualties of War in 1989, starring Michael J. Fox and Sean Penn.
I got a problem here, Sarge.
Revenge in 1990, starring Kevin Costner, directed by Tony Scott.
That is a really good movie, actually.
Is it?
Is
it a film noir?
Kind of.
Like a neo-noir thing?
It is a femme fatale.
Yeah.
I think, oh, God.
I feel like I want to say I think I've seen it, but I don't remember.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. I mean, I saw it in the theater in Boston,
Yeah.
and I think I enjoyed it.
He was in Die Hard 2 in 1990, starring Bruce Willis.
Forgot he was in that.
Totally did not realize he was in that. And granted, Die Hard 2 is the one I've seen the least of all the Die Hard movies.
Oh, I think the last couple are...
Yeah, well, they're not very good either. But
Well, the last one was pretty good, right? I don't remember. The one that was... I just
yeah.
they stopped being good with the Timothy Oliphant one, the July 4th one. That was good.
Yeah, it was fine.
I like that one a lot.
They were fine. They were fine. Whatever.
3 and 4 were good. The one where they went to Russia was horrible.
That
with
one
Jay
was not
Courtney.
good. Yes, that's right.
And then the one with the
yeah, you're right. Sorry.
The one with the daughter was the last one, right?
No. The daughter one was the Timothy Oliphant one. Because where he jumps on the plane and does the whole plane.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
that was the 4th one. The 5th one was just she was nowhere to be found, and it was the son being like a super spy, and then it literally wasn't a Die Hard movie. Yeah.
No, it was stupid.
It was just dumb. He was in Poison in 1991 from Todd Haynes.
That was really good.
Todd Haynes is a fantastic director. He did. Wasn't it Happiness was the one with?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I took somebody on a first date to that movie.
Nice.
We never went out again.
Yeah. What'd you think of the pedophile?
What'd you think of the dog licking the cum?
Oh God, I forgot about that.
And then look at her face.
Ah!
Yeah, woo!
Oh God, you gave me the jeebs.
He was in Out for Justice in 1991, starring Steven Seagal.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Love me the old Steven Seagal movies. And he was still good in 91.
Yeah, yeah. And also in 1991, he was in Regarding Henry, starring Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
I don't remember him in that either.
I think he was one of the nurses or something.
That actually sounds right. That could be.
There was, I don't remember.
That tracks. So, yeah.
I like that movie. Everybody hates that movie, but I like that movie.
Yeah.
I think it's just an interesting redemption story, and it was an interesting performance by
Harrison Ford. He's always good.
Playing a dum-dum.
Yeah. Also in 1991, Leguizamo would appear in Hangin' with Homeboys with Mario Joyner and Dougie Doug.
That is such a 90s movie.
It's so bad. Leguizamo has had a long, incredible career from fronting TV shows to earning 4 Tony nominations. He can most recently be seen in episodes of Smoke, the TV series about an arson investigator played by Taron Egerton on Apple TV+.
I've been eyeing that. I think I watched the first few minutes of it. It looks really interesting. I really like Taron Egerton. But,
He's so good. I'm curious now that John Leguizamo's in it.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
I'll give it another look.
I'm sure we'll cover it. It was a revelation to me to know how many movies John Leguizamo's actually been in that I do not remember him being in.
Yeah, well, he also, in the beginning of his career, played a lot of, like, hoods. And
it was a lot of supporting stuff.
And,
a lot of gang
bullshit
members.
that you have to play as
You
a
look
Hispanic.
vaguely ethnic, so now you're a gang member.
Now you're Egyptian.
Yeah.
Because you're brown.
Yeah, or you're Italian.
Yes. Whatever. You're vaguely ethnic. We can put you in anything. Put him in a turban.
Dennis Hopper was cast as President King Koopa. Between River's Edge, the last time we discussed him, please listen to our River's Edge episode,
Please do, and please watch that movie.
and Super Mario Bros., Hopper was in 18 movies, including
Blue Velvet, Hoosiers, Straight to Hell, Running Out of Luck, The Pickup Artist, Catch Fire, which he directed, The Indian Runner, and Sunset Heat.
Funny thing is that Catch Fire, I didn't realize this, but he used the Alan Smithy treatment on Catch Fire because he did not like the way the movie turned out.
He just was not a good director, man.
No, he really wasn't.
I mean, Easy Rider is brilliant. Lightning in a box. It was lightning in a bottle. It was exactly the right time and place and cast and everything. It was a perfect movie.
Maybe it was lightning in a box because it went away and never came back.
I mean, as an actor, I think he really nailed it all the time. Not all the time.
Most of the time. He didn't really nail it in Super Mario Brothers.
He didn't nail it at all. I think he's also one of those actors that he cannot hide his disdain.
Yes. When he does not like a project,
right,
you will see it.
Luckily, that added to his performance.
It did, because his character was a douchebag.
Yes, he was very unhappy and unpleasant.
Yeah.
But I think that was him at the time. And I'm not going to look. I do think, again, an exceptional actor, but I think directing is very difficult, and I think that there was a passion there with Easy Rider that I don't know if he had with a lot of his other work.
And it's getting sober, possibly just getting older. Like, it's just, sometimes the magic goes away.
When you're young and hungry and you're making something with your friends and you have the complete freedom to do what you want,
right,
that is a gift. And once you get that success, well, then everybody's telling you what to do after that. And once they start giving you money, then they tell you what to do.
Yeah. In 1993, along with Super Mario Bros., Hopper was in Boiling Point with Wesley Snipes.
It's not very good.
Very bad action movie, but a fun get-drunk action movie.
Sure.
Red Rock West with Nicolas Cage, Lara Flynn Boyle, and J.T. Walsh.
Really great neo-noir.
I've never seen that. I need to watch that.
It's a great Nicolas Cage. It's the Nicolas Cage Leaving Las Vegas Nicolas Cage.
Oh, really?
It was around that time.
Yeah.
So, that was when Cage, before he just went super B, when he was still doing his... he still cared about everything.
He was also in True Romance, written by Quentin Tarantino, directed by Tony Scott.
Yeah, that's such a great monologue of his.
Yeah, I mean, he can do really well when he's into it. The year after Super Mario Bros., Hopper was in the highest-grossing movie of his career, Speed, playing the villain.
He was really good. That is a great movie.
It's fantastic.
Keanu Reeves is really good. That was also the time... This was really annoying in the 90s. Every action star had to chew gum.
Yeah.
Chewing gum the entire time. Chewing gum. Nom, nom, nom. It's like... it's an annoying character trait.
if you're not going to use the gum for something, there's no reason to have the gum.
It's distracting.
Yeah, which I think in Speed he did. I think he ended up using it.
He probably did. It's like, again, if you show the gum, you gotta
you
use
show the
it.
gum. It's Chekhov's gum law.
Pop quiz, hotshot.
Hopper sadly passed away after a long battle with prostate cancer on May 29th, 2010 at the age of 79.
I did not know he was that old.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's still
Young. He is still young. He still had a lot of time left.
He was a consummate artist, man.
Samantha Mathis was cast as Princess Daisy and the Queen.
Daisy!
Mathis is the daughter of B.B. Besh, best known for playing Dr. Carol Marcus in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
The baby!
The baby! Mathis made her feature film debut in 1990, appearing in Pump Up the Volume with Christian Slater.
Is that the movie where Christian Slater's got a pirate radio station, and he's kind of like, I'm kind of a nerd at school, and I don't really have a lot of, but when I'm on the radio,
kind of a social outcast until he's an incel until he's talking to everyone else.
and then the cops are all looking for him, and
chasing
looking for the
down.
signal.
He's got the portable radio station in the car, and they're driving around.
And he just kept saying, pump up the volume, pump up the volume.
He's playing music he shouldn't be.
Yeah, talking about things that are wrong, and Samantha Mathis finds it attractive.
I never remembered Samantha Mathis because she's a natural blonde and she dyed her hair black for that movie.
And you hated
so
her
I
for that.
always think of somebody else.
Yeah.
Apparently, I identify people by hair.
That's the only thing I really remember her from is pump up the
really?
volume. Yeah.
Mathis appeared in many movies in the 90s, including This Is My Life in 1992, starring Julie Kavner.
Yeah, that was not Albert Brooks, but the guy that does The Simpsons, Brooks.
James Brooks.
James Brooks. That was a James Brooks
I
movie.
think, she did a voice in Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest, voicing with Christian Slater.
We're back again, Samantha. Good to see ya.
We're tiny little elves or something.
Can you not sound like Jack Nicholson for 2 seconds?
She was in The Thing Called Love in 1993, starring River Phoenix.
Ugh.
She was in Little Women in 1994 and How to Make an American Quilt in 1995, both starring Winona Ryder.
Yeah, those were fine.
Yeah. I remember the Little Women adaptation being pretty good.
Yeah.
She was in The American President in 1985, starring Michael Douglas.
That was a good movie.
She was his assistant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I really loved The American President. I thought it was a very well done movie.
What was that one about?
It was just about him and
And he fell in love with. He
fell in
was a
love
single
with the-
American
Yeah,
president.
he was single, and then he has a daughter, and he
Right.
was single. His wife had died, and he's falling in love, and it's a scandal that the president wants to get married. There was a string of these movies about the president in the 90s that I just loved.
Yeah.
Dave, the American president, they made politics look so interesting.
They made the president look like a good dude.
Yeah, crazy how that works. She was also in Broken Arrow in 1996, starring Christian Slater and John Travolta.
Who's gonna go find the missile? Those missiles, go find and sell it.
Bad movie.
I gotta stop him before he takes it. He's a traitor. John Travolta's a traitor.
Oh, you call him traitor? I'm not a traitor. I'm so something too.
All right, and now you don't have to watch Broken Arrow.
Played a clip of it.
Mathis has also appeared in the TV shows Lost, Under the Dome, and The Strain.
Oh, right. I remember her Under the Dome.
I remember her I don't remember her in Lost. She had a tendency to date people she was working with. She dated Christian Slater after working with him on Pump Up the Volume. She actually dated John Leguizamo while working on Super Mario Bros.
Nice.
She promptly dumped John Leguizamo when she started working with River Phoenix on The Thing Called Love.
Okay, she's a Flibberty Gibbet.
And sadly, Mathis was with River Phoenix the night he overdosed on the steps of the Viper Room.
Well, she should have stuck with Leguizamo.
She was weird. She's funny. She had no idea, according to her, she had no idea he was into drugs at all.
Nobody did. I think he hit it
did
really
not
well.
show that to her, and she knew that night something was weird.
Yeah.
But she wasn't sure, and then he died.
It's horrible.
It's just
horrible night.
Horrible. Mathis will be seen in the 2025 film By Design, starring Juliette Lewis, Mamoudou Athie, Melanie Griffith, Robin Tunney, and Udo Kier.
Okay, interesting.
It looks okay.
Who's it by?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Nobody that I recognized. Fisher Stevens was cast as Iggy Koopa.
Oh, Fisher Stevens.
Good old Iggy.
Good Lord, that
Fisher
guy has such an
Stevens.
interesting career.
Stevens was born Stephen Fisher, but changed it when he joined SAG to avoid another Stephen Fisher.
Let's see, what name should I choose? Let's see. My name is Stephen Fisher. Fisher Stevens. I'm a genius.
Stevens was actually I think he was from Long Island, and he considered himself to be a very typical Jewish man.
Oh.
Which is the irony in the fact that the stuff he would end up playing.
Nazis?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Stevens made his feature film debut in 1981 at the age of 16 with The Burning, a slasher ripoff of Friday the 13th.
Okay.
In 1985, Stevens would appear in My Science Project, written and directed by Jonathan R. Betul, who wrote The Last Starfighter.
Yes, listen to our last Starfighter episode. It's fairly recent.
Watch The Last Starfighter. Do not watch My Science Project.
My Science Project wasn't bad.
Oh, it looked awful.
I don't remember it being bad.
I need to see it again.
We'll cover it eventually.
Oh, God. All right. Stevens and a bunch of other notable celebrity theater actors formed Naked Angel Theater Company in 1986, the same year that Stevens appeared in Short Circuit, playing an Indian grad student.
Number 5 is alive. I'm not going to do his bad accent.
He would reprise the role 2 years later in Short Circuit 2. And the funny thing is that I read all this stuff and didn't realize that at that time, he was like 20 when he formed this theater company.
Yeah.
Like, it was impressive.
Yeah. You know, it wasn't impressive. Brown face.
His Indian accent. And
his brown face.
And totally, yeah. Stevens started directing episodes of Early Edition in 1998, which he also appeared in.
Cool.
He won the Best Documentary Feature Academy Award for The Cove in 2009 with director Luis Sajoyos.
Very cool.
Stevens can most recently be seen in Succession, having won 2 SAG Awards for his performance.
Good to see he's still working. I always like Fisher. I mean, I make fun of him for look, everybody has... If you were working in the 80s and the 90s, you got something in your past.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, C. Thomas Howell. So, everybody gets... It just was a different time back then.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I'm looking at you, Tony Shalhoub.
Yes!
Who did it multiple times.
Yeah, but at least Tony Shalhoub, I don't know, man.
He looks vaguely ethnic. It's fine.
In Tony Shalhoub's defense, that's the only kind of parts you could get at the time.
Yeah.
If you were vaguely ethnic, then you played all ethnicities.
Honk, honk, bluff Tony, honk, honk.
Poor son of a bitch. I love that movie so much.
I love that movie too.
And he's really funny in it.
It's so funny. It's just so like, wow, man. Yeah. I mean, still not as bad as Fisher Stevens playing an Indian guy.
No.
But, most recently, he also directed the 4-episode Netflix documentary about David Beckham called Beckham, which won him an Emmy.
Cool. I have absolutely no interest in that.
Zero interest. Do not care. Richard Edson was cast as Spike Koopa, Iggy's counterpart. Edson started his career as a musician, playing drums in a number of bands, including Sonic Youth.
Yes, man. Nobody looks more like a punk.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
It so fits.
Well, that's how, Jim Jarmusch knew all these punk guys. He was a big fan of the Lounge Lizards. That's why, is it Rob Laurie? Who's the lead singer of the Lounge Lizards?
I don't know.
Something Laurie? Anyway, he was...
Rod Laurie?
But he cast him in Stranger Than Paradise, and he also cast him in Down by Law.
Yeah. Edson's first feature was Stranger Than Paradise in 1984 with Jim Jarmusch. He might be most well known as the parking attendant who takes Cameron's dad's car out for a joyride in Ferris Bueller's Day Off in 1986.
Yeah, they were going to do a sequel movie.
Oh, yeah.
About those two dudes.
Yeah.
And
they were so interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it was,
But it was in works. They were actually going to do a sequel about, it was like something's day off or whatever about their day.
It makes sense. Like, they had their own day off.
Yeah.
They're running around having fun.
I would have
loved to have seen that.
Yeah.
That same year, he was also in Howard the Duck. Listen to our Howard the Duck episode.
I don't remember. Oh, he was like the boyfriend or something.
It wasn't a very big part.
No, but he was part of the like weird punk, quotey quotes punk aesthetic that Leah Thompson was involved in.
What's his name? Very bad actor.
Tom Robbins.
Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins.
Tom Robbins. Tim Robbins. When he would go in, I think that Edson was part of that group.
Wow.
Like when he came in to argue with them and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
He was part of her friend group.
Her friend group.
Yeah.
There you go. He was also in Platoon, directed by Oliver Stone, which he may or may not have his arms blown off.
There were a couple of dudes that looked exactly like him in Platoon.
Yes.
It's weird.
I did, but I'm pretty sure now that you say that, I remember very distinctly the slow motion,
still
running
walk.
and like the.
Well, no, he grabs the box.
Oh yeah.
And he pulls the box, and then you hear the explosion, and then he's got that kind of stiff walk when both of his arms are blown off.
Ugh.
But it might not have been him. He did die horribly, but we just don't know if he was the arms guy.
Right. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Well, we're definitely covering. We're going to do
do it with casualties of war.
Oh yeah, and what was the other big Vietnam movie? Vietnam, the musical.
Vietnam!
Exclamation point.
Yeah. He was also, that same year, he was also in Walker, directed by Alex Cox, starring Ed Harris as a man who invades and makes himself president of Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Nicaragua.
I love Ed Harris. I don't know if I know that movie.
I love Alex Cox. I love Ed Harris. Never heard of this movie before.
Gonna have to look it up.
I think it was a period piece. I think it happened in like the 1800s where it was based on a true story about a guy that goes down and just goes, I'm the president now, and like takes over.
Well, you could do that back then.
Edson's television appearances include The Adventures of Pete and Pete and the third season finale of Homicide, Life on the Street.
Yeah, like we went through that.
Yeah.
I told the story of that one. Pete and Pete, dude. The Adventures of Pete and Pete was such an amazing show. They had so many great Iggy Pop, him. They had so many great musicians and weirdos, and and
It was such a weird show.
So many people from the Hal Hartley movies were in it.
Yeah.
It was the one kids show that felt like an indie movie.
Yeah, totally.
It was so good.
Totally. He most recently can be seen in 2024's The Code, about a couple whose relationship falls apart in the early months of the COVID pandemic.
Okay. Well, I'm glad he's still working.
Yeah. Dana Kaminsky was cast as Daniela Verducci.
Go Mario's gonna come and get us. It's gonna get us. With all the smoking yentas in there.
God,
there was
so many.
So many.
That one apparently they just supplied them with cigarettes.
There was the one girl, and I'll have to give her credit. She had a cig throughout everything when they were flying down the tunnel, when they
every time she was on screen had a cigarette
in her hand. It was really
impressive.
funny.
It was impressive.
Couldn't do that today.
Kaminsky didn't have a terribly long career, with most people probably recognizing her as the personnel receptionist from Big.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, she had like one or two scenes, where she talked to him.
Right.
She's now an artist. She stopped working essentially in like 1991. She sells her stuff. It's really interesting. I saw her Instagram. She sells a bunch of stuff. I think she technically still acts. She doesn't do like film and TV anymore.
Well, I'd love to check out her stuff.
Yeah.
She was great in this movie. Very underrated, I think.
Yeah. I agree. She was really good.
I thought they were going to make her Peach.
Oh, yeah. No.
As Mario's girlfriend's Peach.
No. It's because it was based off of the Super Mario World, which Peach was out the door by then.
Peach
was
was
all
out.
about Daisy.
86.
All about Daisy.
Get rid of She's old news. We got to get a younger girl in here.
Fiona Shaw was cast as Lena, the Dennis Hopper's Cohort, thank you. That's probably the best way to describe it.
Well, she was always scheming to take over.
Yeah. She almost did. She came real close.
I love Fiona Shaw. She was so good in Killing Eve, and she's so good in everything she does.
Andor, she was so good. She's just amazing.
But this movie, I mean, she's interesting to watch, but my God.
She's fun to watch, yeah.
She was smoking.
Yeah, she was a very attractive lady.
She was very attractive. I mean, still is.
She still is.
I'm not being a jerk, but man.
But she has got, you talk about talent crush, man. She is so good. Killing Eve, she is so good.
So good. And she does her absolute best in this.
Yeah.
But it's just not good enough.
She was born in Ireland and was a theater actor before adding film and TV roles. Her big break was in 1989 with My Left Foot, playing the carer for Daniel Day-Lewis's character.
She didn't play the foot?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Shaw would later appear as Petunia Dursley in 5 of the Harry Potter films.
Right.
Yeah, I always forget it's Fiona Shaw. More recently, she would be nominated twice for an Emmy for her part in Killing Eve. She played a pivotal role in the first season of Andor, and she also appeared in True Detective Night Country.
Yes!
Which I totally forgot about.
Me too, and she was excellent in
So
that.
good in that.
She is another one that is always great. She is such...
always. Makes everything better.
She's one of those character actors that you put her in your project, you have one thing that you don't have to worry about.
Yeah. She will be seen in the upcoming Anansi Boys, a miniseries based on the Neil Gaiman novel.
Interesting.
Yeah. Which I'm surprised they're still doing, because Neil Gaiman has become verboten in Hollywood.
Well, and rightly so.
Yeah. Mojo Nixon was cast as Toad.
Else is everywhere, man. Else is everywhere. Who else is everywhere, man? Else is everywhere.
Nixon started his career as a musician, releasing quirky psychobilly songs with his music partner Skid Roper.
I loved them as a kid.
Yeah, this would culminate in MTV alternative favorite Elvis is Everywhere. Nixon later declared his personal religious trinity was Presley, Foghorn Leghorn, and Otis Campbell, the Mayberry Town drunk from the Andy Griffith Show.
So, what a perfect triumvirate, man. I will have to say that those three also had a big influence on me.
They're amazing. I had to look up Otis Campbell, which is why I mentioned who he was.
Otis Campbell. The Andy Griffith Show is kind of a weird wish fulfillment for people of our generation.
Yeah.
Where you have this perfect son, you're sheriff of this perfect town.
Right.
You don't have a wife nagging at you. You got a woman, Aunt B, taking care of everything.
Yeah.
All the cooking and the cleaning and the stuff. I have maybe 3 or 4 friends that absolutely
Want to live in
Oh, my
Mayberry?
God, yeah. A couple that were really surprising. But Otis the drunk, he was the best character. 'Cause he would come in. And he was walking, and he'd unlock the cell, and he'd get in the cell, and he'd lock it.
Yeah.
And then in the morning, he'd unlock the cell, and he'd be very, hello, Andy, I'm very sorry that I...
It's funny because I looked it up. The picture of him was the like it was immediately. I was like, okay, I know exactly who you are.
That show was awesome.
Nixon made his feature film debut as the drummer for Jerry Lee Lewis in Great Balls of Fire in 1989, starring Dennis Quaid.
Oh, yeah, Jerry Lee Lewis, a consummate pedophile. Hey, 13, baby!
I know. Nixon followed up with Rock and Roll High School Forever in 1990, the sequel to Rock and Roll High School from 1979, starring Corey Feldman.
That movie is so brilliant.
The original.
No, the sequel is brilliant.
The sequel is Corey Feldman, not the original, just to clarify.
Neither of them are brilliant, but Rock and Roll High School is a lot of fun.
Yeah. For Super Mario Bros., the producers wanted Tom Waits, who was willing, but sadly unavailable.
He would have been great.
I mean, because honestly, it was funny when he came on, because Jim was like, that guy is somebody. I know that.
I
and
knew
it was
it.
like, yeah, that's Mojo Nixon. And it so could have been Tom Waits.
Well, yeah.
100%.
Well, yes.
He's just busking on the street.
Get on with it. Yeah.
Because then he gets transformed, and he's technically not in the rest of the movie.
Exactly. You're just in it for a few minutes. But
Yeah,
Tom Waits doesn't have the energy.
No,
He was so
just
good.
been sitting on the ground.
He was like, it's not a great movie, but Tom Waits was so good in Mystery Men. That
Oh,
weird.
yeah. I love Mystery Men.
I really like it.
I know it's not a good movie,
Yeah.
but it has a special nostalgia in my heart.
I saw that movie at some premiere, and I didn't like it at the time.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this, and I was making comments to my friend, like derogatory
Yeah,
comments. And then as soon as the credits hit, I'm like, let's just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that the director was sitting right behind me, and he's like, "Hey asshole, you think you want to sit down for a few effing minutes?" And I felt like such a dick, but I was a dick.
I think I say this every time you mention the story, but I saw a test screening of Club Dread, the Broken Lizard movie.
I like that movie.
And Jay Chandrasekhar and one of the other guys was sitting behind us,
Yeah.
and I knew who they were.
Yeah.
And there were people in front of us that just started deriding that movie and making fun of that movie, and I just kept looking back like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, they looked so uncomfortable. And, like, as soon as the screening was over, they beelined out.
I love that movie.
The audience did not.
Was it like before it was finished?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't complete. But yeah, I just felt so bad. Because then later, when I was working at Warner Brothers, I would run into Jay Chandrasekhar all the time. He was directing Dukes of Hazzard or something.
He directs tons of
Yeah,
stuff. He does a lot of TV
He was
now.
in the building I was in, so like I'd run into him in the lobby, and like we'd chat and just be like, "Hey,
They're doing another Super Troopers movie.
they are Super Troopers 3."
They made 3 great movies. I really like Club Dread. I think Beer Fest is their unrecognized classic. I think that's better than all of their movies.
Oh, okay.
In my opinion, that's my
Okay.
favorite. And then Super Troopers.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd call Club Dread a great movie, but I haven't
Club
seen
Dread was
it
so
in a
much
long
fun.
time. I haven't seen it in a long
And
time.
Bill Paxton is so good at playing
Yeah.
that parrot head guy. What's his name that just died?
Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah. And granted, again, I'm pretty sure that part of the reason that I didn't like the movie was from the viewing experience
sure.
because the audience hated that movie.
And you're uncomfortable sitting behind the
it was
filmmakers?
it was so weird.
Really bad way to see it.
Yeah.
You need to see it again.
I know. Roper and Nixon parted ways in 1989, and on Nixon's first solo album, he released the song Don Henley Must Die, which gained a bit of controversy, to the point where his record label was begging stations not to play it.
Oh.
They literally called up stations and said, don't play it.
We're playing
it's just
it
gonna
anyway."
cause issues. And then the best part is that on July 31st, 1992, at the Hole in the Wall in Austin, Texas, Don Henley jumped on stage and performed the song with Nixon, causing Nixon to praise Henley as having
Balls as big as church bells.
Oh my God, that is the cool.
That
I
is-
love John Henley now.
being in the audience watching Mojo Nixon, that Don Henley jumps on stage and does the song saying he should die?
That
it would be amazing.
I wish I were there to see that. That is brilliant.
It gives more respect for Don Henley, man.
And Mojo Nixon.
Yeah. Nixon continued to stir up controversy, working with Jello Biafra and writing songs about killing David Geffen, incest, bestiality, and coprophilia.
He was so much fun, dude.
He pushed the limit
Yes.
because he could.
It was
he
goof.
wanted to. Yeah.
It wasn't. It was there to make make people uncomfortable, like every punk rocker should.
Yeah, he retired from the music business in 2004, and then he unretired in 2009 and continued to make more music.
So awesome. He's more rockabilly, though, I would say. Then. He's a punk rockabilly.
Yeah, psychobilly, yeah.
Yeah.
Dixon died from a cardiac event on February 7th, 2024, while aboard the Outlaw Country Cruise docked in San Juan, Puerto Rico, which he attended as a performer and host.
Oh, man. I did not know
66.
That's so awful.
Too young. And then, weirdly, 2 days later, James Van Eaton, the guy he played in Great Balls of Fire, also died.
He just couldn't go on.
He was like, oh, my... yeah. Francesca P. Roberts was cast as Big Bertha, the bouncer. Big Bertha the bouncer.
Also, not the nicest name.
No, it's not.
Big
and
Bertha.
they also talk about it's like, oh, is she the one that's very rotund?
Yes.
Like what? It's like she was not.
And
She's tall.
Big Bertha was like a fat lady joke for
Yeah.
years, man. It wasn't, it's not cool.
Roberts is most well known for 2 sitcoms: Frank's Place in 1987, which ran for 22 episodes, and it was created by Hugh Wilson, the creator of WKRP in Cincinnati.
WKRP in Cincinnati. One of the best sitcoms ever.
It was. Don't really know Frank's Place, but,
No.
She was also in Baby Talk in 1991, a spinoff of the Look Who's Talking series that aired on ABC. She appeared in the second season after low ratings for the first season caused the entire cast to get replaced.
Ill-conceived bullshit. The only reason why those movies did well is because Bruce Willis was playing the baby.
Yeah. Roberts plays a lot of courtroom judges in movies and TV, including The Division, Law & Order, L.A., and Morton. Her most recent role was in 2017 on Empire, playing a judge.
Yeah, she was got that air of authority. And I love the tough people with the soft side. And she does that really well.
The whole dance sequence
So
with
much
Bob
fun.
Hoskins was great.
Yeah.
Like, she was way better than this movie gives her credit for.
Way better than they deserved.
Yeah.
With the
Yeah.
crappy part that she gave. It was just basically, well, she's here to introduce the jumping boots.
Yeah.
We need the jumping boots.
Essentially, yes.
Which they get the jumping boots.
And then
they jump once.
Well, and then they use them as, like, guns, essentially?
Stupid. So stupid.
Gianni Russo was cast as Anthony Scapelli, part of the Scapelli brothers.
The Scapelli brothers. The Scapelli brothers they always get there first.
Wasn't it the Scapelli brothers that was the two ghosts in the courtroom?
Very similar.
In Ghostbusters 2?
It was the Capellis or something.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But
it's close enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was, a lot of movies in the 90s had a pair of Italian brothers.
Yeah.
The Ellies.
This is how we don't piss off the mob.
Oh, they always very cool.
Gianni Russo is most well known for playing Carlo Rizzi in The Godfather, his feature film debut. He was in a bunch of other movies, but he reprised the role in flashback scene for The Godfather Part 2. He's been in a bunch of stuff that was all B movies and not really worth talking about.
He's just one of those guys. The Scapelli brothers were such Italian stereotypes.
Yeah.
Of the Goomba.
Well, they had to make him more Italian than the Mario brothers, who were Italian.
Mario, the Scapellis.
Yeah. Don Lake was cast as Sergeant Simon. Lake works with director Christopher Guest and is also a close friend and frequent collaborator of Bonnie Hunt, appearing in Bonnie, Life with Bonnie, and The Bonnie Hunt Show, which he also wrote and executive produced.
I love Bonnie Hunt.
And I didn't realize she had 3 TV shows.
She should have more. She's just so likable. She's like a Ben Johnson type, somebody that just makes you feel good and safe.
Yeah. She's really funny. She's very dry. She's really funny.
Great.
She does great delivery.
Yes. I love her. She's an amazing comedian.
Lake also had roles in the comedy films Police Academy, Hot Shots, Dumb and Dumber 2, and Corner Gas, the movie.
Okay.
I say comedy films in quotes.
Oh, come on. Some of those.
Police Academy, the first, they're not bad.
Hot Shots is great.
Hot Shots is
fun. Dumb and Dumber 2.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Not very good. You may remember him in Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Wagons East, Waiting for Guffman, or Downsizing. He's one of those guys. He's in everything.
Yeah. He's a great character actor.
As soon as you see him, you're like, oh, it's that guy.
Yeah.
He voiced the role of Stu Hops in Zootopia. I thought he had written the movie, but he did not. I was wrong. He also voiced characters in Super Dave, Daredevil for Hire, the animated TV show based off Super Dave Osborne.
Aww.
Which
Dave Einstein.
I am so trying to find the complete Super Dave because that show was on Showtime when I was growing up, and I watched the crap out of it.
The thing that's so crazy is that he's Albert Brooks' brother.
I know. It's so weird.
And Albert Brooks' real name is Albert Einstein.
Yes, it is. It is.
Not only Super Dave, but Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, God, yes.
So brilliant.
He's so great.
Such a great guy. But Super Dave, my God, was the funniest thing.
Super Dave was so ridiculous. And so I was just yesterday watching a hour-long best of thing with Super Dave because I wanted to see full episodes.
It was the first real parody of Evel Knievel.
Yeah, yeah.
And he basically made a career out of it for 20 years. Just doing specials and shows.
It was great. It was great.
What show was it on? Wasn't it on some show?
It was a segment on another show, and then he had his own show for a while.
Yeah.
But it was like a 10-minute segment on something else.
Not necessarily the news or something
like that.
Something
I
like
don't
that.
remember. Yeah. But I do want to say, just shout out to my best friend Damien from high school, because there was a segment in that where they were they were in a grocery store and they were exploring new surveillance techniques from the Japanese.
Right.
And one of them literally just had a lens on the end of a loaf of bread, and he would grab it and go, "Bread cam." And my friend Damien and I did that to each other all the time through high school. Anytime there was a loaf of bread around, it would just pop up, "Bread cam." Anyway, Lake wrote The Extreme Adventures of Super Dave while also appearing in the film.
I didn't know he was a writer as well.
Yeah. He also wrote Return to Me in 2000, starring David Duchovny and Minnie Driver, directed by Bonnie Hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
David Duchovny should not be in romantic comedies.
No, and I love David Duchovny.
I do too, but it's not his thing.
No, he's not. It's just not a fit for him.
Yeah. Lake will next be seen in the upcoming 2025 film Spinal Tap 2.
Nice.
I think he plays one of the roadies. Lance Henriksen was cast as the king. Henriksen is in the movie for one scene for literally less than 16 seconds.
Does he even say anything?
No. Despite literally only being in the movie for 16 seconds, he met his second wife, Jane Pollock, while working on the movie.
Yeah, you got to get makeup.
She was a makeup artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why they cast Lance Henriksen, I have no idea.
It might have been a bigger part.
There were about half an hour of scenes cut from this movie,
Yeah.
so it's very possible they had more.
They had to have. Either that or it was just a goof.
Yeah.
It's, you know, like
just one of those
somebody had to
cameos.
be the king.
Right.
You know, you had to have somebody.
Frank Welker did the voice of Yoshi in the Goombas, and Dan Castellaneta was the narrator at the beginning.
I know.
It was so great.
One of the worst voices he's ever done. It was very lucky you look about Real Brothers. This is Bidgy Badgy Bougie.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Several weeks before shooting was to begin, Disney purchased the distribution rights to the film and demanded significant rewrites.
Ugh.
Producers Jaffe and Eberts feared the project had both skewed too far from the intended young adult and family audiences and had become too effects-heavy to film within budget. So without informing directors Morton and Jankel or the signed cast, they hired screenwriters Ed Solomon and Ryan Rowe to provide a more family-friendly script with more restrained effects requirements. So they had cast, essentially they gave the scripts to the main cast.
They liked it.
And that's why they signed on.
Right.
And then they promptly rewrote the script.
That is bait and switch, man.
Completely different writers, completely different ideas. And no, trust me, they were not happy about it.
Yeah.
They only discovered the new screenplay upon arriving in Wilmington, North Carolina to begin filming.
Tricky dicks. That is not cool.
Directors Morton and Jankel considered leaving the project, but decided to stay after discussing together and realizing that no other director at that point could understand the material enough to properly adapt it.
Okay, it's Mario Brothers. Just relax.
Look, Morton and Jankel are a little full of themselves.
Yeah, you think?
They also said that they owed it to the cast and crew and believed they could reclaim their vision during production, which is a bad idea.
You're never, ever going to beat the studio. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Unless you're Martin Scorsese or some auteur, but other than that,
Francis
never.
Ford Coppola, who just does his own thing.
Exactly. Either you do it with your own money or you do it their way.
Yeah. Morton said the final result was a script that was not at all like the script that he, Jankel, and the cast had signed on to film, and that the tone of the new script was not at all compatible with the sets which had already been built. Without invitation, formerly fired writers Bennett and Runte took a road trip to Wilmington, whereupon they were immediately rehired.
What?
Yep, the directors rehired them to rewrite the script that they had been forced to rewrite already.
Hollywood is just one chunk of humiliation after another, and you take it because it...
You have to, because how else,
There is no other industry that is just so solely based on fear.
Yeah.
Fear of losing your job, fear of not getting hired,
fear of
getting
never working
canceled.
again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
There's like there's like 8 people that are happy and well-adjusted in Hollywood, and everybody else is a psycho.
Is insane, yeah. The former writers, Bennett and Runte, would remain throughout production to provide final rewrites, dialogue for ADR, and the dialogue for the expository animated dinosaur opening. The script was rewritten so many times, the actors stopped paying attention to rewrites until they were literally on set shooting a scene.
Why would you waste your time?
Yeah.
In that type of production, when they don't know what they're doing, they don't have a script that is finalized, they don't have directors that have a vision.
Yeah.
It's maddening.
Yeah.
You're on a sinking ship, but the ship sinks every frickin' day.
Quick story about this. I was working on the TV show House, and that show was notorious for rewrites.
Oh, yeah.
Notorious. And also notorious for, as the week went on, getting later and later in the start day because they would run over so long that normally call times on Fridays would be like 5 or 6 p.m.
Well, they give Hugh Laurie like 40-minute monologues.
But the thing was, I was working as a PA in the office, and they didn't want their writer's assistant to deliver the script, so we had to. I literally worked from like 9 a.m. to almost 9 a.m. the next day, almost a full 24 hours, because they started shooting at 6 p.m. that night, and they just were like, well, we don't have to have the actors back for 2 days, so we can work as long as we want. Yeah. So they worked till like 8 in the morning.
It's not legal.
I know. We then essentially after that, I had to deliver scripts. I went on a Saturday morning and delivered scripts to one of the actors. It was outside his house, put on top of his mailbox. The next Monday, I go. He didn't have to work that Monday. I go, had new pages for the pages that I had rewritten, delivered it to his house. The script was still sitting on top of his mailbox 3 days later. Because they knew that they were just going to go and then get the script when they got there.
Gotta be so frustrating.
It was so annoying.
Yeah.
It was so annoying.
Yeah, look, acting is the easiest job in the world. If you know what you're doing, it's the easiest job in the world. But it can be very frustrating.
Yeah. It appeared that no one was happy to be working on the film. Explaining why he did the film, Dennis Hopper said,
"My 6-year-old son at the time, he's now 18, he said, 'Dad, I think you're probably a pretty good actor, but why did you play that terrible King Koopa in Super Mario Bros?' And I said, 'Well, Henry, I did it so you could have shoes.' And he said, 'Dad, I don't need shoes that badly.'"
Bob Hoskins said on the film about the film's production,
"It was a f***ing nightmare. The whole experience was a nightmare. It had a husband and wife team directing whose arrogance had been mistaken for talent. And after so many weeks, their own agent told them to get off the set. F***ing nightmare. F***ing idiots."
Don't hold back.
Dennis Hopper said about the production,
"It was a nightmare, man. Very honestly. That movie, it was a husband and wife directing team who were both control freaks and wouldn't talk before they made decisions. Anyway, I was supposed to go down there for 5 weeks, and I was there for 17. It was so over budget, man."
Yeah. John Leguizamo has gone on record saying that he and Bob Hoskins hated working on the film and would frequently get drunk to make it through the experience.
I bet you they became really good friends.
I bet they did.
Nothing bonds people more than a shared commiserate.
Yeah. It's very true. Both men apparently knew the movie would turn out bad, so they simply tried to make the best of it.
And they did.
Yeah.
Both of them did really good work.
They had good chemistry. I mean, they were good together.
They really they were a lot of fun. And like I said, John Leguizamo was such a sweet little guy. And it was really nice to see him play that.
He also stated that he felt one of the biggest reasons the movie turned out the way it did was because the directors wanted a more adult movie, while the studio, considering the source material, was looking for a children's film. Leguizamo said,
"It's 8-year-olds who play the game, and that's where the movie needed to be aimed. But the directors kept trying to insert new material. They shot scenes with strippers and with other sexually explicit content, which all had to be edited out anyway."
Indeed, Rocky Jankel had hired a bunch of real strippers for the club scene, and almost 90% of the scene had to be cut.
What were they thinking? Who was this movie
They
for?
were recapturing their vision.
But this is the problem. You have to pick something, man. You can't... See, this is why the movie didn't do well, because it straddled the fence. It's either you got to go dark or you got to go light. And if you're dark light, it's schizophrenic and it just doesn't,
I know.
Nobody to connect with it.
The cast and crew disliked Rocky, Morton, and Annabel Jankel so much that the film crew would regularly refer to them by insulting nicknames and even had T-shirts made that displayed rude comments made by the directors.
Do you know any of the nicknames?
No. I do know that at one point Rocky Morton did not like an extra's outfit, so he poured hot coffee over his head.
The extra's head?
Yep.
He should be in jail.
Yep.
That is assault.
Bob Hoskins referred to them as
The Count and the Cow.
Which was
reportedly-
which?
Okay. I'm pretty sure the guy was the cunt.
Ah.
Yeah. Reportedly, at one point, Dennis Hopper was so fed up with the drawn-out and constantly changing production that he spent almost 3 hours yelling at the directors, holding up the filming of a scene in Koopa's bedroom.
Do you know how absolutely pissed and at the end of your rope you have to be to yell for 3 hours?
That is a long time.
That is the Titanic. You're watching the Titanic. He's not done yelling as the credits roll. And another thing.
And yeah,
With a thing and then another thing. And it's just imagine sitting there for 3 hours while Dennis Hopper, probably in that horrible Koopa
oh
costume,
God, with that awful hair.
screaming at you, throwing bagels.
Accidents routinely happened on set. Hoskins had his finger broken when a van door slammed on his hand. He wore a pink cast for the rest of the production. Apparently, you can see it. I looked for it. I couldn't tell. So
Yeah,
he
I
did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
In addition to breaking his finger, Bob Hoskins recalled that he was stabbed 4 times, electrocuted, and nearly drowned.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Hoskins said,
And that's just what happened to me.
John Leguizamo was hit by a car, breaking his leg. You can even see the cast in some shots in the movie.
What?
Yeah. Apparently he was drunk.
Oh.
he was drunk and got hit by a car. Okay. Yeah.
Well, so it was his fault.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But still, I mean, you should.
Yeah.
Okay.
The de-evolution guns seen at the end of the film are simply repainted versions of the Super Nintendo light gun accessory, the Super Scope,
Okay, that's cool.
which is fun.
That's a nice little Easter egg. At least one Nintendo thing got in there.
Yeah. 4 versions of the Yoshi puppet were built: a stand-in, a wireless model, a half puppet for the tongue, and a fully functional model that was capable of making 64 separate movements due to 200 feet of 70 cables crammed inside its 3-foot-tall structure, costing $500,000.
Okay. It was an impressive puppet.
It was really impressive.
Very impressive puppet. And I was very surprised to find out that Jurassic Park came out only a couple weeks after this.
Yeah.
It blows my mind timelines now because I thought
know,
this was
I know.
way before. But here's the problem. You can't make a dinosaur cuddly and cute.
No.
Yoshi was not cuddly and cute. No matter all the little coops, cuckoo, he is still a gross-looking lizard thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yoshi, that's the
He
problem.
grew on me during the movie.
Yeah, but there had to be, like the weird small-headed de-evolved
Yeah,
guys that looked like a tiny-headed Shaquille O'Neal. They had, expressive eye. They look kind of cute or whatever, and the big mouth. And
Yeah.
you could have cartooned it a little bit.
Agreed.
It didn't need to be so
It's a dinosaur.
anatomy perfect of a
Right,
dinosaur
right,
because
right.
it just doesn't. Yoshi with the tongue and the eating, and they did that, but they fell flat making it too realistic. It doesn't work.
But Jim, if they don't make it realistic, no one's going to believe the movie.
Oh, okay. Point taken.
Little known fact: Danny DeVito actually played Yoshi in the movie.
He comes crawling out in some tiny whities all sweaty.
He had to crawl,
What a day.
crawl in and out of the mouth.
Yeah.
I gotta get it's hot in there. Ah, ooh.
And part of the reason that it's in our CompuKids month is because it introduced several techniques considered innovative in the transition from practical to digital visual effects.
Yes, this is another film. All the films this month had some sort of groundbreaking computer visual effects that helped us move towards the hellish landscape of all digital bullshit that we see today.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, this was a lot of groundbreaking crap in it.
It was the first film to have used the compositing software Flame before it was acquired by Autodesk.
Okay.
The film was also the first to be scanned with the Kodak Cineon film scanner to create a digital intermediate, allowing for the compositing of more than 700 visual effects shots.
Yeah. Yeah, they were starting to make it easier.
Right, to blend CG with real light.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were getting away from the Last Starfighter with the really muddy landscapes and such.
Right. The team consisted of both traditional rotoscope artists and digital artists, comprising approximately 30 people in total. The soundtrack is comprised of some of the most 90s bands ever.
Roxette, Divinals, George Clinton, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, Extreme, Joe Satriani, Us Three, and Megadeth.
Yeah.
Oh, that soundtrack, baby.
So 90s. So 90s. The score was composed by Alan Silvestri, who appeared to be inspired by Danny Elfman's score for Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah.
There was a lot of Pee-wee's Big Adventure in this movie. Like kind of, yeah. In the United States and Canada, Super Mario Bros. Only collected $8.5 million during its opening weekend, ranking in 4th place at the box office, below Cliffhanger, Made in America, and Dave.
I saw Cliffhanger in Costa Rica.
Oh, really?
What was really funny is the speaker system for the theater was like 2 home speakers from 1975.
Yeah. Nice.
Because they didn't give a shit because it was subtitled.
Right.
So we could barely hear it and
no.
barely understand what was going on, but we still knew it was a horrible movie.
Yeah, that's not good. The movie grossed just under $39 million worldwide against a budget of $48 million. It was a flop.
There was no way it was going to do well.
No,
there was just no way.
It was every decision was made towards it failing.
Exactly. This is a perfect example of the studio interfering to the point of damaging the product.
Yeah.
Demanding a movie that these filmmakers didn't know how to make, basically.
Yeah, I mean, they had their ideas, and then the studio said, nope, you're going to do this.
No.
And it's like, well, then why did you hire us?
Right. Well, I mean, that's the
Why are
thing.
you making this movie at all?
I don't understand studio heads. Here's what's wrong with studio executives. They have no creative instincts, but they desperately think that they do.
Yeah.
And they desperately want to be creatives, but they don't have it. That's why they're studio heads.
Right.
So they push their bullshit on everybody, and then their thumb is what crushes these types of projects into oblivion.
Yeah. Critics savaged the movie. Michael Wilmington of the Los Angeles Times said,
It's a movie split in two. Wildly accomplished on one level, wildly deficient on another. I'll agree with that.
Yeah. He gave the film high marks for its effects and the
sheer density and bravura of the production design.
but ultimately provided a low final score for poor writing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune and Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times gave the film 2 thumbs down on the television program Siskel and Ebert at the Movies, citing tonal inconsistency and lack of narrative, and the film was on their list for one of the worst films of 1993. After the film bombed at the box office, Nintendo stopped producing live-action theatrical films based on their video game franchises for a very long time. A Metroid film was put into development but never went past pre-production.
Oh, that's a bummer.
I know. It would have been so cool.
See Samus. See Samus.
Samus Aran.
Yeah, rolling, turn into a big old ball and roll.
I love Metroid. That was probably my favorite NES game.
Same.
Yeah. Nintendo would eventually release another adaptation, Pokemon Detective Pikachu, in 2019 to improve critical and commercial success.
That was pretty fun.
It was a fun movie. It's really interesting because that movie, and granted I've only seen it once,
Yeah.
but that movie, Detective Pikachu, was also could be considered kind of dark.
Yeah.
Kind of what Super Mario Bros. Did, based off of very colorful, source material.
Right.
But did it right.
Yeah, because it didn't ever lose the heart.
Yeah, exactly.
And there was heart to Mario, but
Yeah.
it wasn't the center, It
Yeah.
wasn't the bond between these two guys. The one good thing about the movie is there was never a moment where they broke the brothers apart.
Yeah.
Because
they
that
were
would've
there
just-
for
yeah.
each other the whole time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that had to be, because
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
you can't, at least they didn't do that.
Right.
At least they didn't
Right.
do that stupid trope.
Pokemon Detective Pikachu would eventually lead to the Chris Pratt as Mario animated movie The Super Mario Bros., released in 2023.
Look, it was fine. Chris Pratt was not the right choice.
No.
For Mario.
No.
He's just not.
He was hired because he was Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt did a great job in the Lego movie.
Sure.
Great job. That doesn't mean he needs to be Garfield and Mario and all. He's not a voice actor.
No.
That was him being... The reason why he was so good in the Lego movie is he was still Andy Dwyer. He was still the fat, funny guy.
He was still
that
being
didn't
goofy. Yeah.
take himself too goddamn seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't ruin the movie, but they should have given it to a real voice actor.
I agree.
And Jack Black was really good. I enjoyed
It was
him.
it was fine. It was fun. I mean, I had a good time with it. It was colorful and
thin.
bright, and it was
Keegan Michael Key was really fun.
It was definitely more accurate to the franchise because
Yes.
it wasn't just the games. I mean, they included a lot of the franchise stuff.
It's not something I'll watch again, but I enjoyed watching it, and it did well enough to make a sequel.
The new adaptation grossed $1.363 billion worldwide.
Good Lord.
And set multiple box office records, including the biggest worldwide opening weekend for an animated film and the highest grossing film based on a video game. It became the second highest grossing film of 2023, the third highest grossing animated film of all time, and the highest grossing film produced by Illumination.
Ooh.
Do you know what the number one film in 2023 was?
Barbie?
It was Barbie with $1.4 billion.
Barbie was great.
I was
loved
shocked
Barbie.
when it had $1.363 billion, and it was not the number one movie that year.
I know. It was a good year.
But Barbie was a juggernaut.
Well, that whole Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
That helped it a lot.
Oh, Barbie. Super Mario Bros. And yes, you're right. There is a sequel to this coming out next year in 2026 called Super Mario Brothers, or Super Mario Galaxy. The Super Mario Galaxy movie, which is being based off of the Super Mario Galaxy game, which I think came out a couple years ago.
Again, they're going to make
something.
it bigger and bolder and badder, and it's going to
We're going to go to space!
They should have done like Luigi's Mansion or something.
Yeah.
This is the problem with sequels, is they always think that it has to be so much bigger and has to cram so much more crap into it, but that's not what people want. People want a continuation of the cool characters and a good story.
Yeah, agreed. Super Mario Bros. Has gained cult status with the fan site drawing millions of visitors. The editors of the fan site ended up writing a webcomic sequel in 2013 with one of the original writers of the movie.
That's really cool.
Yeah. In May 2019, the fan site announced that they were able to buy a rare VHS tape on eBay, which was initially owned by the film's producer Roland Joffe. Ooh. It contained several deleted and extended scenes from the film. The site announced they would digitize the material with the intention of restoring it for a Blu-ray release.
I'm a little interested.
I am too. On June 1st, 2021, they uploaded the finished cut to their website, and the Trust the Fungus Super Mario Bros. 30th Anniversary Collector's Edition was released on Blu-ray by Umbrella Entertainment in 2023.
All right, I'm curious. I would like to check that out.
I am kind of curious too.
Yeah.
Like I'm curious to see how many extended scenes, how many deleted scenes, like if it would help make the movie better.
This is another movie that aged better.
It did. It really did. Removing it from, divorcing it from the idea of it being a Mario Brothers movie makes it such a better movie.
Well, it's also a movie, and this is rare, where a cast can truly rise it above what it is. And without John Leguizamo, Bob Hoskins, Dennis Hopper, and Mojo Nixon, and Samantha Mathis, and Fiona Shaw, and Richard Edson, it wouldn't have been as good as it was.
But not Fisher Stevens.
No, not Fisher Stevens.
He made it worse.
Fisher Stevens sucks. No, I love Fisher Stevens.
I'm just kidding.
He was great.
It was interesting. It was funny because every time someone popped up, Jim would go, "They're in this?"
Yes.
And I was like, "Yeah, everybody. Literally everybody's in this movie."
I totally forgot. But I remember when it came out. I remember everybody hating it. I remember hating it myself.
Yeah.
And I think it was just because Mario is such a beloved character. Mm-hmm. It's me, Mario.
Yeah.
You know, boom, bink, boom, bink. He's been with us, at least at that point, for 15 years?
Yeah.
Close to it, 10 years?
A little around 15.
And he was such a beloved character that we went through so many adventures with all these colorful, beautiful lands. And when they were going to make Mario Brothers, we were like, okay, great.
Yeah.
I also think that one of the problems and one of the reasons why they went dark and they went with this dystopian, generic set design is because there's no way they could have done Mario at that point.
No. And then this is why the 2023 movie was animated.
Right.
I mean, it was CG animation, and it looked great, but it was like that to pull it off in live action would be so difficult.
But that's what, if it would have gone from the real world, and the beginning, before they go into the parallel dimension, is a good movie.
Yeah.
Very solid.
It's really interesting.
Solid setup, well directed, well acted, not badly written.
Right.
But as soon as they go into the other land, it just is ridiculous.
It just doesn't make any... There's so many... Like, the fact that they showed the world and Dino Hatton, which they called Dino Hatton, was the only actual city, and the rest of the world was just a smoldering ruin. Right. It was like, what?
Well, because everything was destroyed by the meteor, but that was like 1 million years ago.
Well, and on top of the fact that the meteor was still there. Like, it didn't make any sense. Anyway, that's nitpicking a movie that doesn't need to be nitpicked.
No, you could pick at that scab all day, but it ain't ever going to go away.
Yeah.
It is definitely a 90s movie. And I would say it is a classic, but not in the way of
It's a cult classic, for sure.
But it's a classic in the way of Demolition Man is.
Yeah.
If there's a group of movies in the 90s that are very similar, and this was the sensibility back then. The
Yeah.
sensibility was like the dystopia was always like, I was smoking cigarettes. We're gonna eat.
Yeah,
We're gonna
yeah.
eat meat and stuff. And it's like this. They had that kind of like, ooh, we're gonna try to make it like stereotypical Brooklyn or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But it wasn't rough enough to be scary,
Right.
and
right.
it wasn't cute enough to be Mario.
Yeah.
And then all the real world stuff, the Yoshi, the weird small-headed weirdos. It's
The fungus that's everywhere.
the fungus. It's Lance Henriksen.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's the thing. Mushrooms are such a huge part of Mario.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
their version of putting mushrooms in is just boogers everywhere that is
That
a
weird
fungus.
snot netting. It's so weird.
They don't ever explain where the bombs come from.
No.
And why.
Although that sequence was so funny.
Hilarious. That little bomb walking was
It
great.
was just so people were so afraid
I
of
know,
it.
it was-
It was tiny little bomb.
It was one of the highlights
Yeah.
of the movie.
Yeah.
That makes it a fun movie to watch. This movie is definitely like, it's hard to explain because it's not nostalgia.
Yeah.
And it's not like it was a great movie or anything, but it is one of those movies that is so of its time and
Yeah.
so indicative of the 90s.
It's like a time capsule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going back in time. And you're like, oh man, oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember the 90s now. But Hoskins was great, and Leguizamo was great. Much better than that the movie had
Oh, yeah.
any right to have those performances. And it's fun to watch Dennis Hopper give one of the most begrudging performances of his career. You could just tell that
yeah.
he's one cut away from screaming at everybody on the set.
Yeah.
He looks so uncomfortable and so unhappy.
Just waiting for them to yell cut so he can freak out at people.
But like I said, though, I was really entertained.
I was too. I think this movie is worth seeing.
Yes.
I think it's worth revisiting.
Yes.
You can purchase it. It's not available on streaming anywhere. You can get it from the Internet Archive if
Yeah.
you really want to. It's
Do that before you buy it.
yeah, because you might still think it's awful.
Yes. And look, we're not saying that somehow it's become this masterpiece or anything. You're so right, Adam. You got to divorce yourself from the time. And when it came out, it was controversy is the wrong word, but it was disappointing.
Because it wasn't Super Mario Brothers.
The marketing wasn't helping at all.
Right.
Because it didn't really tell you what the movie was about. It just kept showing them in their little costumes, boing, jumping.
Which, that is an hour and a half into
right.
the movie.
And it
Yeah.
lasts for 15 seconds.
Yeah, yeah.
And the whole ending, it's like, why didn't Luigi stay with Daisy? He had, and granted, she comes back and started the sequel we'll never see.
They had the Back to the Future ending,
Yes.
which is what the webcomic was about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be great. But yeah, I mean, look, Fiona Shaw and Richard Edson and all of these, Dan Castellaneta, just such talented people.
Yeah.
And working under the thumb of these horrible, insecure couple that just. This is the thing, is like shit rolls down in Hollywood, and you're getting yelled at by the execs,
Right,
and you're
right.
scared shitless you're going to lose your job.
Right.
And so instead of coalescing the crew around you, then you start yelling and barking orders because,
Right,
you know,
right,
and it's
right.
just, it becomes untenable. It becomes this horrible place where you just dread going every day. I've worked on some projects where you're driving there and you're like, why am I doing this?
Why don't I just go home?
Yeah. This is just pointless.
It's amazing considering how this movie was made that I still think this is a good movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible. I mean, yeah.
It's one of those rare instances where after everything comes out in the mix,
Yeah.
somehow they put together an entertaining film.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, I know I say this all the time, and maybe it's just the old man in me, but I also think the movies have gotten a lot worse.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
a lot of these awful movies that we hated so much when we were younger.
Aren't quite as awful as we thought.
When I saw it at the time, I was a young man who hadn't really done much and was more apt to hate things.
Yeah. You're more critical.
Yes.
Yeah.
because I didn't know any better.
It's easy to make movies. Why aren't you making it better?
It's just you're a dick when you're young.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
want to hate everything, and it's cool to be like, yeah. But as you get older and you do stuff, you realize how hard it is, and you just want to like stuff. And especially, and I think the joy of doing this show is that the show isn't about trashing things that are bad or whatever. The show is about finding things to enjoy and experience and share, and maybe that we've forgotten about or that we never saw. And I think this is a really good example of something that I totally hated.
Oh, yeah, same.
And I'm really happy that we revisited it because it's not like it's going to become a yearly watch or anything.
No.
But it definitely has. I have a much different perception of it than I did before I rewatched it.
I was very entertained. It's worth a see. Check it out. Let us know. Email us, genxfollowspodcast@gmail.com. If you watch it, let us know. And tell us the same if you feel differently about it.
This is another one I'd love for you to show your kids.
Yes.
Especially kids that are very fond of the Mario cartoon.
Yes.
And I'd like to know what they think about it.
That would be great. Goom, goom, akalaka, goom, 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 akalaka, goomba.
Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur.
Goom,
Open the
goom,
door, get
akalaka,
on the
goom,
floor.
goom,
Everybody
goom,
walk the
akalaka, goomba.
dinosaur.
Ho, 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 Mario. Mario.
Samantha. So you got Samantha Mathis. You not only have
his first feature film released in 19. Oh God.
Yeah, because the first thing you think of for a Super Mario Brothers, the first thing you think of for a Super Mario Brothers movie is
he's British.
Well, I think they looked at the movie. I think they. Well, that definitely should have had Dennis Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman?
Jesus Christ.
He was in Poison in 1990. Lake will next be seen in the upcoming film 2025. Sorry.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming, The Mary Tyler Moore Show, already in progress.